What if the sun disappeared for 24 hours? Find out what would happen and more in our video. The other day, looking out the window, I imagined everything going dark for a second, and to be honest, that thought truly terrified me. Because our entire civilization, the metaverse, the internet, even the breath you take right now, hangs by a thread, dependent on a single star. In this video, we will run that frightening simulation together and look at what the end looks like with scientific data. If this dark and mysterious side of the universe intrigues you too, buckle up and take your seat on Metaverse Planet now, because in a moment, the lights will go out completely. If the sun disappeared right now, at this very second, at first we would have no idea. We would keep sunbathing on the beach or walking in the park. Because the sun is 150 million kilometers away, and its light takes exactly 8 minutes and 20 seconds to say goodbye to us. But when that time is up, the greatest panic in human history would begin. Imagine the sky going dark at 1 p.m. as if a switch had been flipped. Even the moon is invisible because there is no light source left to reflect. What's scarier is not just the light, but gravity is gone too. The Earth, like a kite with a broken string, is thrown out of orbit and starts hurling in a straight line into the depths of space. In this moment of chaos, if we looked at the sky, we could still see Jupiter. It would continue to reflect the ghost light of the non-existent sun for another 30 minutes, but then only infinite darkness would remain. Even if we tried to light up cities with electricity and fossil fuels, it would only be a temporary solution. Within 24 hours, as panic grips the entire world, the real silent killer kicks in. Photosynthesis has stopped. The planet's lungs have collapsed, and plants can no longer convert carbon dioxide into oxygen. Fortunately, we have millions of years of accumulated oxygen in our atmosphere, so we can keep breathing, but the cold is unforgiving. Within a week, the temperature would drop to 0 degrees, and by the end of the year, -73. The oceans would freeze completely, everything on the surface covered in a thick layer of ice. Except for regions with geothermal energy like Iceland or underground bunkers where the rich took refuge, most of humanity would sadly freeze to death. As years passed, even the gases in the atmosphere would condense from the cold and start falling to the ground. Imagine, when you go outside, what's falling isn't water, it's oxygen snow. While survivors try to collect this snow and melt it over a fire just to breathe, ironically, in the depths of the oceans, life goes on without even noticing the sun's absence. Creatures around volcanic vents would continue to live for millions of years without us, without the sun. In conclusion, Earth would turn into a giant frozen spaceship hurling towards another star at 108,000 kilometers per hour, carrying the last crumbs of life within. Maybe millions of years later, it would enter the orbit of another sun, and life would start anew. Knowing this is both terrifying and fascinating, isn't it? When this scenario ended, one question remained in my mind. As Earth drifts through the universe like a frozen spaceship, who would be the lucky few accepted into the underground bunkers? I would probably try my luck as a digital archivist or a storyteller. But what about you? If you had to offer just one skill to get into humanity's last refuge, what would it be? Let's build that bunkers list together in the comments and see who survives. Don't forget to stick around and turn on notifications for more mind-bending simulations like this. See you in the next video.